The following recording is a production of Kicking Out at 2 in conjunction with the WrestleMania Pro Wrestling Podcast Network and is intended for private use only. For more information, head on over to facebook.com/Kicking Out at 2 or our Twitter handle @Kicking Out 2, along with searching Retromania with a W on any and all podcast platforms available to listen to archive shows such as this and all the great content of the Retromania Pro Wrestling Podcast Network. Evergreen content at your fingertips anytime at your listening pleasure. And with that being said, we thank you for listening and hope you enjoy the show.
I would have been. You know what, though? I was so team heel back then. Maybe not. But I just say as an adult, though, I appreciate it.
By the way, I hit record just as you were, just kind of organically talking about this.
Cool.
So, yeah. This is rebuilding WrestleMania 7 here on Kicking Out at 2. And it's been a long time since we've done this, but we got the band back together. That's right. Justin and Dennis in the same house, the same roof. It's like both El Grande Americanos at the same time in the same building, except no masks.
Which one does that make me?
Well, I think you would be the OG.
Would I? Yeah,
well, because you started, you were the first podcast, and Dennis came on early on, so you're the Ludwig Kaiser of El Grande Americano. Okay, there you go. So this is Dennis. Without the racism, of course. Justin and myself, Dave Rosenbluth here, Kicking Out at 2. We are rebuilding WrestleMania 7. That's right. For those of you that are familiar with the rebuilding concept here on Kicking Out at 2, we take a WrestleMania from years past and we reimagine it and rebuild it in our own minds, our own brains, what we think would be cool, what we would like to see. Last year we rebuilt WrestleMania 4. You can find that in the archives. I'm actually particularly proud of that one. I've listened to that one actually 3 times in the last year. Justin and I sat down and we rebuilt WrestleMania 4, and we turned the one-night tournament into a 2-night WrestleMania with a little modern twist. So what we're going to do is we're going to take WrestleMania 7 this year, and we're going to turn that into a 2-night event. A 2-night extravaganza, Stars and Stripes Forever, the USA theme that year in 1991, which, as we're recording this today, and it just so happens, I didn't plan this, this is the 35-year anniversary of that WrestleMania.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool. And I plan to drop this tomorrow, so we'll be 35 years and a day removed from that anniversary when I drop this tomorrow on social media. We were just kind of talking a little bit about it off air, and what WrestleMania 7 to you, Dennis? What is it? What is it? Emphasize. What are your first thoughts when it comes to WrestleMania 7?
All right, WrestleMania 7. I know there's 8 billion people on this planet, give or take, in this world, but I'm the only single person that probably thinks of Rockers versus Barbarian versus Haku.
I love that match too.
Banger match, and that is my favorite underrated match in WrestleMania history.
Well, I mean, we've talked about it. It was on our opening Mount Rushmore of opening WrestleMania matches a couple years ago. We did that. You can check that out in the archives. That was a fun show. And I believe it was one of your hidden gems as well. Was it one of your hidden gems?
10,000%.
Okay, yeah. Hidden gem, Rockers against Haku and the Barbarian. Anything else that when WrestleMania 7 comes to mind? I mean, obviously... I would call
WrestleMania 7, there was a theme, the matches of underration. Because then you got the blindfold match, and some people shit on. Another underrated match for me. Another underrated match.
Yeah, I love that match too.
Obviously you got some classics in there. Warrior
Savage,
a classic. But I was circling the line. If you want to see a good, solid WrestleMania that's underrated, that doesn't get the love that I think it certainly deserves, WrestleMania 7.
Yep. What about you, Justin? What WrestleMania 7?
This is kind of an obscure thing that when you say it, WrestleMania 7, I close my eyes and I think about it. I have to lead you into this. I think about Hogan and Slaughter.
Mm-hmm.
But what I think about when I think about that match is the fact that Hulk Hogan drew blood. And I know that's a weird thing to think about.
Okay.
But, as a kid, having watched Hogan matches and stuff, there wasn't many matches where back then, people like drew blood.
Yeah, it was blood was a no-no in the WWF at that time. It was quite a
visual to see, and again, I saw this match years later, but to see like Hulk Hogan draw blood, and then it wasn't like that wasn't the storyline. It was just part of the match. Yeah. It wasn't like something that was called out on the air, but like he drew blood as a little kid. I'm like, oh shit, like this hot dog tan colored Hulk Hogan with his blonde hair, and he's defending America, and it was Stars and Stripes Forever. Like, it was a very Americanized celebration of sorts, and like the flag was like used as a weapon, and like this is a weird thing to remember. Like after the match was over, he wiped his bloody face with the flag. Not that I consider that controversial, but like,
a lot of people would take that.
Just weird little details that a young person would have recognized.
I believe it. If I'm not mistaken, too. At one point in that match, Slaughter draped the Iraqi flag over him, and then he ripped it. Mm-hmm. He ripped the flag during, like after when he did the kick out and the big comeback, and he starts shaking and hulks up. He ripped the Iraqi flag, which I mean, in our society today,
would be a no-no.
That and also wiping blood on the American flag as well.
He was really just doing it to like wipe his brow. You know what I mean? I understand. Like no one's hating on him. Like realistically,
somebody will find a way to hate on him.
I don't know. Just where, like the fact that he drew blood at a time when, I don't know. That's just something you notice as a kid, visually speaking.
Yep.
That the blindfold match definitely comes to mind. I think I said it on our episode of WrestleMania March Madness, like. That is just quintessential WrestleMania in a nutshell, especially in that era where just like, how do we raise the stakes? How do we make this more exciting?
Yeah.
How does it, like, how do you get more interested?
Yeah.
Put blindfolds over them and see what happens. That's literally what they did.
And nobody's ever touched that concept since, like in my opinion.
Such a well-done spectacle. And we'll obviously go into it further, I'm sure. But those things particularly come to mind. Okay. Oh, and then Lou Ferrigno. Lou Ferrigno sitting front row, or not front row, but sitting in the audience with the celebrities row of, the crowd there, and
Bobby Heenan's line at the end. He sounds like he was chewing on 8 pounds of oyster crackers. There were a lot of great one-liners from Bobby Heenan from that WrestleMania
for sure.
too.
Yeah, exactly.
Another memorable part of that show. I was, kind of going back a little bit on social media, and allegedly Bob Costas was supposed to be a part of that WrestleMania, and he turned that down because of the WWF's portrayal of Sergeant Slaughter as the Iraqi sympathizer. He was originally advertised to appear at that show, and I believe George Steinbrenner was supposed to, former owner of the New York Yankees, was supposed to be a part of that as well. Another one that was advertised to be a part of WrestleMania 7. They didn't go crazy with the celebrities. They had, the row of celebrities that were sitting there, and then, Alex Trebek from Jeopardy, and Regis from Regis and Kathy Lee, Marla Maples, who was just, I don't know what she did other than just marry Donald Trump. Like,
she was a model, I want to say.
That sounds about right. That seems to be his type.
I don't think she was anything famous other than that.
Warrior and Savage, obviously, the first thing that comes to mind. The definition, I think, of a WrestleMania moment, or at least the blueprint of what a WrestleMania moment is supposed to capture.
Absolutely. Yep.
And the other thing, I said this before we clicked record, and I should have actually clicked record when we were talking about that stuff in particular, but that WrestleMania as a kid, while I loved Warrior and Savage, and I loved the blindfold match, nothing really hit with me when I was younger for that show. Even Hogan and Slaughter didn't really do it for me as much as I would think for a Hogan match, considering
much for you, brother.
I know, right? But I will say that in the last 5 years or so, that's a WrestleMania that when I do my WrestleMania binges, normally when I binge WrestleManias, I'll watch my favorite matches from each one. I won't watch the whole show, but there's a handful that I'll watch the show start to finish, and that's one of them. And that's like the grand finale, the end of like the golden age era. I mean, you had every big name that defined the golden age in wrestling, or at least in the WWF at that time, all under one roof. Hogan, The Ultimate Warrior, Randy Savage, Roddy Piper had a cameo on that show. That was Andre's last televised WrestleMania he was a part of. Bobby Heenan and Gorilla on the Call. I mean, the list goes on and on of names that were a part of that show that was like a who's who in the WWF for a handful of years prior. So that to me is just like it just embodies like what the WWF was about for a few years prior to that. And that was like that big, like I said, that grand finale at the end, which makes that show so much fun to watch. Like even like the Warlord and the British Bulldog was a fucking hell of a match on that card. Two big guys who you would have thought that that match would be a clunker. They had that crowd on their feet from start to finish. So
I don't know. For my money, the British Bulldog was great. I know I don't want to go on a British Bulldog tangent.
No. I mean,
he was a great wrestler. Probably you can't. I can't top 3 in terms of best who never won the big one.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we can talk about Razor or Perfect.
Yeah, DiBiase.
Yeah. I mean, and don't get me wrong. Great.
Yeah.
I don't know, for my money, because I guess people look at Bulldog as kind of like a big meathead looking guy. Have you ever seen a bad British Bulldog match? I mean, I'm sure there's bad ones, but
I would consider him probably like wrestling's first utility player, where you can put him in like every position. Like he could have a
great match.
He can have a great match with a lot of people.
And this isn't just Bret Hart that he can have great matches with. I mean, which is obviously where my inspiration is going to come from.
Yeah,
like
Shawn Michaels, Owen Hart.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like again, those guys are great too. So it takes 2 to tango.
Yeah.
Like, he's not just a guy that they're like, okay, like let's get someone good for him to wrestle with.
Yeah.
Like someone's got to show him how to. No, he knows how to wrestle. He knows how to work.
Yeah.
And like again, for my money, he was great.
Absolutely.
I don't know. What do you think, Dennis?
Oh, yeah, the British Bulldog. The only time I could think that he stunk was at the weigh-in where he was wearing the jeans. The jeans British Bulldog sucked. Other than jeans British Bulldog, he was fucking fantastic.
I didn't understand why they did that with him. Like when he came back that year, and like he was. I remember they brought him back, and this was a few months after Owen died, and they were kind of like, advertising that like he was making a comeback for Owen, and then they like put him in like the title mix with like The Rock and Triple. Like there was some intrigue, at least on my end, to see like Davey Boy like in the mix. I wasn't expecting him to win the belt, but for him to be a regular fixture in the main event scene in 1999 for the WWF, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool, and I literally like. It was when they had him wear jeans and those like wrestler work boots.
It was awful,
and I was just like, it just kind of knocked took the air out of me. I was like,
skill wise, he was probably definitely on the downturn at that point.
Yeah,
but I think if you can argue that he was brought in just to be like as a credible guy.
Yeah,
like what I mean. I don't want to say. I mean, actually,
a name to put a name to add a notch to someone's belt.
Jobber to the stars.
Yeah, name to add a notch to someone's belt. Absolutely.
He was. They have plenty of guys in that era, and we're trying to segue into WrestleMania 7. Yeah, that era had Big Boss Man too. Obviously, he had great moments in the Attitude Era as well, but like he was brought in for that same purpose. Credible name from the Golden Era.
Yeah,
like the British Bulldog to work with a whole new crop of guys and do fun stuff with.
Yeah,
it worked probably better for him than it did Bulldog. To Dennis's point, because that was definitely a less than memorable run for him.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so as we do with our rebuilding concept here, there's WrestleMania 7 had 14 matches. If you want to count 15 with the dark match, Coco Beware and the Brooklyn Brawler, we could add that to the card if we want. I leave it, sort of open-ended, while at the same time kind of staying true to what took place. So what I mean by that is, it's like, if we want to change a match, I'm down for it. If we want to change a finish to a match, I'm down for that too. Match order, stuff like that. What goes on night 1, what's going to go on night 2, things like that. So, why don't we get started? Dennis, I'll have you start. What do you think? I probably already know the answer to this. You want to go with the opening match? You want to go with the opener?
Oh, 100%.
All right. And it's going to be Rockers against Hakum Barbarian.
It's got to be.
So night 1 you want to open. Night 1 you want to open with the Rockers against Haku and the Barbarian.
Here's my minor tweak that is perfection. Don't get me wrong, but my minor tweak would be the psychology of the match, right?
Yep.
That I loved in a way that they didn't, that the finisher wasn't the double punch,
the rocker dropper.
You can't punch Samoans in the head like that.
That's true. Yeah,
I fucking
those
love
Island
that.
Boys.
But they should have made that like a point, like
almost like they were trying to like.
They did it, and then like they hurt their hands more than they hurt them.
Okay,
that's why they needed that finish.
Okay,
that'd be my minor little tweak.
I like
why
that.
They did not were able to use their finisher to finish the match.
I like
that's
that.
My minor tweak to that perfection of a match.
So they're trying to deliver headshots, and it's not phasing Haku and Barbarian because those Island Boys, they got nothing up there.
You can't finish them like that.
You can't finish them like that. So they resort to the high risk with the crossbody from Shawn Michaels to. I like that. What do you think about that, Justin?
Oh, as far as an opener,
for night one.
I don't want to disappoint Dennis, so I guess we're gonna have to keep it. But
no, I mean you could.
I don't have an argument for it. I think it's a fantastic match. I agree with him. The psychology of it to get to that finish, I thought, is very sound. I mean, looking around at the card itself, the only other one I might consider, just given some stakes, given a little bit of 2026 mindset, I might make the tag team title match, the opening match.
Heart Foundation and the Nasty Boys.
Kick it off with something with stakes.
Okay.
Someone's gonna win the title. Someone's gonna lose the title. Whoever, you know what I mean? Like, having said that, though,
it's a 2-night WrestleMania, so I mean, we could one night
opens.
One night one match opens, and the other night the other match opens. I mean, it just depends on what you want. Depends on what night you want it to open. So, I mean, what do you think, Dennis? You think night one would be better served with the tag team titles opening up, or do you think the Rockers, you're going to stick to your guns with Rockers against Haku and Barbarian?
Oh, like I said, you started off with a bang. That's
okay.
That's the match that it's just you start.
Okay.
You start the crowd off hot and boom. That's the way you do it.
All right, I like that. Night one, that kind of makes sense. Okay. Now, so do you want to lock in night one's opener as the Rockers against Haku and Barbarian?
I would probably lock in night one and night two.
Okay. All right. So the night two opener would be the Hart Foundation taking on defending the tag team championship against the Nasty Boys.
I'm with it, man.
Okay. So as of right now, night one, first match on the card, Rockers against Haku and Barbarian representing the Heenan family. And then on night two's opener, the WWF Tag Team Championship, Bret the Hitman Hart, Jim the Anvil Neidhart of the Hart Foundation defending the tag team titles against the Nasty Boys. So are you keeping a tally as to how we're...
I'm throwing it up right now.
Okay. All right.
First, Haku and Barbarian to start us off.
Now, while we're, you're throwing this up, would there be any tweaks to a finish, or is it you want to keep it as is, as history played itself
for the night one?
For the night one opener.
I'm going to defer to Dennis on that one.
All right, Dennis, keep it as is. Okay, that was a thumbs up. All right, I got you. Yeah, he doesn't have the mic currently, so for those listening, Justin and Dennis are sharing mics because I don't have a system that has 3 mics here. But anyhow, now as far as the night two opener, Hart Foundation defending against the Nasty Boys, is that something that you would entertain the idea of tweaking the finish there, Justin?
I want to. However, Bret Hart lost that title and transitioned into becoming
a singles wrestler.
Having a classic match with Perfect at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Do we lose that? Does that not?
Does that change?
Does that change his trajectory if he's potentially still the tag team champion, leaving WrestleMania?
I don't. I mean, at that point, if we're looking at it with a 2026 mindset, Bret Hart had done all he could do as a tag team wrestler at that point.
Right. That's why I'm
and so
that's also part of
changing it. I don't think changing it so that like he could continue on with Anvil. I mean, would that be the mindset? Is like if you were to change the finish, are they still a team?
I mean, I'm just exploring the idea of do we change it? And
yeah.
The other side of the coin is Bret Hart, his trajectory is SummerSlam 91, winning the Intercontinental title in an all-time classic.
Yeah.
The other end of the coin is the Nasty Boys drop the titles to the Legion of Doom
at that same SummerSlam.
So, how does that change the trajectory?
Yeah.
While we're having fun here, does it become the Hart Foundation versus the Legion of Doom at SummerSlam? And maybe that's where the moment happens. And I know, again, that's with 2026 eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you're not going to put two baby faces against each other necessarily so liberally, if you will.
Yeah, they were very hesitant to do that. That was a. But I wouldn't say once in a lifetime.
We're not necessarily trying to replicate the mindset. We're trying to just shake it up. So
I like the idea of. I like the idea of where Dennis is at with night one, open up with a banger. Mm-hmm. These guys, tear the house down. First match of a 2-night WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. And then I like the idea of night two's opener with a title change to set the tone for a WrestleMania, and it being a heel.
As you were saying, it was coming to me as it was.
And there's two heels, just the heels, the Nasty Boys are the ones that take the title.
It draws you back in. It's like, okay, you saw this kick-ass night one, and you finish off the first match of night two. We're just getting started. You know what I mean? That type of vibe. There's more history to be made type of idea. So I would probably keep it.
Now, let's go back to night one. Okay. We got the opener. Mm-hmm. Now, do we book the main event, or do we just build towards the main event?
I build towards it.
Okay. All right. That's fair. Next match on the card, or at least that took place on this WrestleMania, was Texas Tornado defeating Dino Bravo in a match with 3 minutes and 11 seconds.
Okay, what else we got? I will say on that has all the makings of a second match on a pay-per-view.
Okay.
In terms of it's a shitty spot. You either want to be and maybe
opener or the closer.
That's what they say nowadays. I don't know if that's something that
was an attitude that they adopted, back then in '91.
Right. So do you use that match?
Then there's Davey Boy and the Warlord, Bulldog. We just talked about him. Mm-hmm. The Nasties and the Hearts are the match after that, but we've established that that's going to be the night one opener. Jake the Snake and Rick Martel in the blindfold match is at number 6. Number 7 is Undertaker and Jimmy Snuka. Number 8's the career-ending match with Ultimate Warrior and Randy Savage. Number 9, Tenryu and Katao against Demolition, Smash and Crush. Number 10, the Big Boss Man with Andre the Giant in his corner against Mr. Perfect with Bobby Heenan in his corner for the Intercontinental Championship. Number 11, Earthquake and Greg the Hammer Valentine. Number 12, the Legion of Doom and Power and Glory. 13, DiBiase and Virgil. 14, the Mountie and Tito Santana. And 15, Hogan and Slaughter. Oh, and if we want to include Coco Beware and the Brooklyn Brawler from the dark match, that's that's an option there. Here's one suggestion I have. Okay, when it comes to, and we could place this on. This is an angle that I think could work in this 2-night format. If Justin, I don't think you remember this. Dennis, you might remember this. Power and Glory were the ones that cost the Legion of Doom an opportunity at the Tag Team Championship at WrestleMania 7. There was a Battle Royal on Superstars, and they cost them the Battle Royal, helping the Nasty Boys get the Tag Team title shot. With it implied that there was some sort of an agreement between Jimmy Hart and Slick that Power and Glory was going to be in line for a tag team opportunity against the Nasty Boys if they got rid of the Legion of Doom. Because they were obviously, like you said, Justin, earlier, building to Road Warriors and Nasty Boys at SummerSlam. Now, I've said this, and I don't know if this is something that we could, add to this WrestleMania, but this is the opportunity, I think, where I would like to change something about this WrestleMania. And that being, I would have the Road Warriors work twice on first night and second night. First night, they finally blow off their rivalry with Demolition. I don't think Tenryu and Katao need to be on this show. I understand why they did it. They had a relationship with All Japan at that time, and they were trying to establish that, and they were putting them on that card. Okay, I understand that. However, I've always been a big proponent of Road Warriors Demolition needed to blow off their feud on a bigger stage. They had it at a Saturday Night's Main Event in a 6-man tag involving the Warrior and Axe. So what I'm saying is Road Warriors Demolition night 1, and then they get their revenge on Power and Glory for night 2. Or Power and Glory gets involved again in their match with Demolition, setting up the Road Warriors going to Jack Tunney and saying, we want Roma and Herc tomorrow night at WrestleMania Sunday.
Okay, I like that. The one thing I have a question about is, in changing it, Tenryu and Katao won that match
against Demolition.
Right.
Yep.
So what are the ramifications of that? Like, that's all I would want to know is, like, it probably...
From my recollection, Demolition either didn't do much following WrestleMania, or they were completely off the card in general. Like they had split them up, and I think not long after that they repackaged Smash into Repo Man.
Right.
Okay. So there's that. Just to throw that out there, it's an option. Doesn't have to happen, but there's an option.
Okay. We can certainly revisit.
Another option that I think could add a little bit of intrigue to two other options that could add a little bit of intrigue to this WrestleMania. It was a month after this WrestleMania where Ricky the Dragon Steamboat returned to the WWF as like the fire-breathing dragon with the fire gimmick.
That's Dennis's favorite.
So,
Steamboat, right?
so does Steamboat have a role on this show? Could you include Ricky Steamboat on this WrestleMania? Or do you wait for that after WrestleMania?
I mean, maybe as a special referee for the blindfold match or something. I don't know.
I got an idea for Steamboat. But
okay. I don't know where he would go I don't know where he would wrestle in the card. Maybe you here's an idea just to throw it out there. You advertise that Ricky the Dragon Steamboat is returning to the WWF in a match at WrestleMania. And then they put him in there in a random match against. I got an idea.
Okay.
So we got the two Japanese guys versus Demolition, right?
Mm-hmm.
Throw in Ricky the Dragon into the Japanese guys, and then introduce Smash, and then you got 3-on-3.
Oh, you mean Crush?
Yeah, Crush. Excuse me. Yeah.
Well, Axe was already gone from the company at that time, so you only had Smash and Crush at the time. Although they were managed by Fuji. So, I mean, they've had Fuji wrestle before. I mean, if you wanted to do Dragon, Tenryu, and Katao against Demolition and Fuji, it's, there's an option there too. The other thing, and I don't know if you remember, you might not remember this, Justin. Dennis, you might. At the time, WWF was introducing this masked man that was coming out and, saving random baby faces from attacks from heels like Earthquake, Dino Bravo, whoever.
That'll never get over.
Right? I know, right? Well, that masked man, he didn't have a name. They didn't even know what to call him. It was Brutus Beefcake. They were trying to reintroduce him back to television.
Jesus Christ.
So, do you bring Brutus back for WrestleMania under that moniker? They're just options. Like I said, I'm just throwing this stuff out there because it was in that timeline, to kind of, add to this WrestleMania if it really needed being added.
I think we can work on that as we slot more matches in. I think we pick a second match and kind of.
All right, so let's go with a second match on this WrestleMania card. Since Dennis picked the opener for night 1, Justin, what do you think deserves second billing behind the Rockers against Haku and Barbarian? Is it Texas Tornado and Dino Bravo?
I think for shits and gigs, I think I would go with Bulldog and Warlord. I think that's,
big man match.
Yeah, big man match. It fits the time. It's, I'm looking at it now here on the old Wikipedia. It's a nice 8-minute match. So It's not like a terrible stinker to kind of get the, to bring the audience down. So I think you go there.
What do you think about that, Dennis?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So we can lock that in. Bulldog and
for night one.
Bulldog and Warlord, night one, second match on the card. So roughly, we could have 7 to 8 matches each night. If we decide to like add a match or add a stipulation or whatever. So locked in. Davey Boy, British Bulldog against the Warlord. The second match is part of WrestleMania 7 Saturday. That's a tongue twister, if there ever was one. Let's get into the third match here. Dennis, is there a match on this card that you think deserves third behind Bulldog and Warlord? If you need me to go rattle them off again, since you don't have any notes in front of you.
So this is a match that I want a little tweaking to, and it'll be the final. I think it'd be a good spot for the blindfold match. And this will be my Intercontinental Championship match too. I would give this by hook or crook. Rick Dorado Martel would be going in as the Intercontinental Champion, and we could right or wrong. Looking back at the time, of course, they didn't know about it. But we know now knowing that Jake the Snake Roberts never had a singles title, that is fucking ridiculous.
All right,
so he stole Jake the Snake's eyesight, so he's going to steal his fucking title. That's my Intercontinental Championship match. I think it just the story writes itself.
That's actually pretty good.
That's not bad. So how does Mr. Perfect lose the championship?
Yeah.
Because Mr. Perfect's the Intercontinental Champion, and on this card he defends the title against the Big Boss Man. So how does Mr. Perfect lose the title to Rick Martel?
And then real quick before you go further, how does that affect the trajectory of Perfect and Bret Hart? And I'm being selfish when I ask that question, but it is a valid question.
Because that's the big match of SummerSlam '91. Right.
Yeah, not that we're not.
Yeah, we're not trying to shit on your dream here. I just want to we're just exploring all possibilities.
All right, so instead of Mr. Perfect, you get Jake the Snake versus Bret Hart.
Okay, that's not bad.
But Jake the Snake does have a bad back for the record too.
But the other thing you also have to take into account, too, is that Jake, that affects
the wedding.
That affects the wedding with Macho Man and Liz and his association with Undertaker. The Cobra bite to the Ultimate Warrior in the face.
All right.
So you're eliminating potentially a lot of different scenarios.
It can potentially change a little bit of history
that go down the road.
But how dare they not have Jake the Snake have a title? I would make the world champion at one point or another.
Okay.
But the IC championship against in
a blindfold match.
I did him wrong. That he needed to take more than just win a match.
I think there's a way out.
Okay.
Who was the champion before Perfect?
Before Perfect?
Yes.
He won the title in a tournament after Warrior beat Hogan at WrestleMania 6.
So he had been the champion.
He'd been the champion for over a year.
Where was Tornado in that?
Oh, you're right. Tornado had the yes, you're right.
And
Tornado.
Him, right?
So Perfect dropped it to him, and then he won it back on like a primetime wrestling or like a house show or something. Okay, all right.
Martel beats Texas Tornado whenever that title gets changed.
Okay.
And that's how Martel is the champion.
Okay. All right.
To then get Jake to win it, for then Perfect to win it from Jake to take it to SummerSlam. Dump some extra heat on Jake having just won his first title
at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
All right, so Martel beats Tornado. Martel beats Tornado for the Intercontinental title, and then this all started on the Brother Love show, and Martel was kind of like almost like Martel was like who was Johnny Carson's sidekick?
Oh, Jim McMahon.
Yeah, Ed McMahon. Yeah, he was kind of like the Ed McMahon to Brother Love's Johnny Carson at that time. Not to make that comparison, but that's the first thing that comes to mind. And Jake was the guest on the Brother Love show. And then that's when Martel was spraying the arrogance on the Snake. Jake walked over, was like, "What the fuck you doing?" Spritz in the eye. He's blind for 6-8 months, whatever, in one eye, and then we're off to the races. So that could be a situation where I could see Brother Love. He's got Jake on as a guest, and Jake wants to set his sights on becoming a champion. And Martel's the new Intercontinental Champion. And Martel knows he's a threat. He knows that, Jake's a threat, and so he uses the arrogance to blind Jake to stop him from becoming the Intercontinental Champion, setting up the blindfold match for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 7. I dig that idea. I like that, Dennis. That was a good...
Is that... Just need a little more. I don't know.
No, I don't disagree with that at all. I think there's some spice to that I think is interesting. I think it gives us a nice, fun challenge to figure out what to do with Perfect and Boss Man and...
Well, here's the thing. You know what? It's funny that you mentioned this.
Is this a night 2 match, by the way? Are we doing this on night 2?
No, he said this was night 1, the third match on the card.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, so Perfect, from my recollection in 1991, the story with the Big Boss Man was that he was running through the Heenan family because Bobby Heenan had made fun of his mother. And Boss Man was trying to get revenge on Heenan, so Bobby was just throwing everybody in the family at him. He had actually a really good match with the Barbarian at Royal Rumble 1991, which is like a hidden gem if there ever was one. And so really the story was more so about Bobby and Perfect, and the Intercontinental Championship almost became secondary at that time. So all the more the reason to take the title off of Perfect and put it so we've made a big change. So the third match on night 1 for WrestleMania 7 will be a blindfold match for the Intercontinental Championship. Jake the Snake Roberts challenging the model Rick Martel.
Yeah.
I like that. So does Perfect win the belt from Jake following WrestleMania to set up the Brett thing?
I think so.
Okay.
That makes the most sense.
Well, here's the other thing about this too. This is great. Actually, Dennis, you just you kind of put so much into place. This is unbelievable. After WrestleMania 7 in 1991, that was when Earthquake killed Damien and sat on him. So that could be the beginning of the downfall of Jake the Snake Roberts that led to him joining the dark side with The Undertaker and ruining Randy Savage's wedding. Earthquake kills Damien. Mr. Perfect steals the Intercontinental Championship from him. Yeah. Now what has he got left? Mm-hmm. He's got nothing left except to go join forces with the dark side of The Undertaker.
I think we got a little thing too.
Go.
So be like Earthquake kills the snake, right?
Yeah.
And snake is broken. Like the love of his life is dead, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the Undertaker hands him a bag and Jake the Snake opens up, of course it's the Cobra, and he goes, perfect. That's how he becomes a heel.
It's Undertaker that kind of
that he gave him his new love,
Okay, and so he transforms from the Python to the Cobra. Okay, yeah. I like that.
What was the Cobra's name? Lucifer?
No, that was the Yellow Snake, I think, or maybe that was Damien's brother or something. The other Python. I don't remember. I should.
Yeah, we gotta look that up. What was the Cobra's name? I
don't think there was a Cobra name though. Because I know that the Cobra came out once, and then Jack Tunney banned all reptiles from ringside.
Took him that long.
Yeah, I know, right? Only a life-saving measure that took place after Randy Savage got bit by the Cobra. All right, so that's match number 3 on this card. Wow, that's pretty good. All right, so Justin, what do you think follows Jake the Snake and Rick Martel blindfold match for the Intercontinental Championship? What's the 4th match on this card that follows it?
Number 4. I was looking up the name of the Cobra.
Oh.
I think it is Lucifer. Anyways. All right, we got a nice little moment with Jake winning the belt. Probably some shitty match next.
Okay, well there's a good amount to choose from. Tornado and Dino Bravo. Earthquake and Greg Valentine.
Let's go with that.
Mountie and Tito Santana.
I wanted to put LOD versus Power and Glory because that was less than a minute.
Yeah.
But we can use that later.
Okay.
For a break.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say Earthquake and
Earthquake and Greg Valentine. Okay. Yeah. Anything that you want to change? You want to change the finish? Does it stand? Earthquake defeats Greg the Hammer.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right, we can go. What do you think about that, Dennis?
Maybe throw in another guy to make a handicap match, but yeah, I'm cool with that.
Okay. All right. Earthquake and Valentine, yeah.
What if that's where the Masked Man comes in? His former tag team partner from Rhythm and Blues.
Who, Honky Tonk Man?
No, excuse me, the Dream Team.
Dream Team with Beefcake.
His Dream Team partner.
I would think it would be pretty funny. Here is like, Greg the Heaven Valentine getting his ass destroyed. Here comes a new guy. Can he be the hero? And then that hero guy gets his ass kicked too, and they both get
an earthquake just squashed.
Well, that's what I mean. Like maybe it's it's a swerve, bro. Yeah. And he comes out. He's the Masked Man. You think he's going to help Earthquake for whatever reason, right or wrong, and he just turns on Earthquake, and he takes the mask off, and it's his fellow Dream Team companion.
Okay. I mean, I guess we can include the Beefer on the WrestleMania card. I mean, if Hulk's on the card, you got to have Beefer on it. Beefer's got to get a payday. You know what I mean? All right. So that's the fourth match on the card. So I guess we could say there's 3 more matches left on this WrestleMania card.
Yeah, I think we all know what the main event is going to be of this. We don't have to say it out loud right now.
Well, we can discuss.
We need to get a couple matches in there before.
Yeah, so we got about 2 more matches before we can discuss what the main event of night 1's going to be.
So okay. So what are we doing for number 5?
So the options are: I'm looking at, do you want another stinker match, or do you want something with a little bit of as JR would say, a little bit of sizzle?
I would say some sizzle.
Okay, so
I'll save it for night 2. I'll do stinkers until the main event, and then do night 2 blow the load.
Well, this is where all right. So this is
erotic.
So this is where I would throw in the idea of changing up that Demolition tag match and making it Demolition and the Road Warriors.
Okay, I was thinking,
and then
okay, go ahead.
And then setting up the night 2 match with Road Warriors and Power and Glory, or we can do Demolition, Road Warriors, night 1. Power and Glory gets involved. The Japanese boys, Tenryu and Katao, make the save. You set up an 8-man for night 2.
Okay, I like that.
Okay,
I think that's a good match to happen before the main event.
Before the main event for night 1,
especially if you're going to.
You're talking about the 8-man, or you talking about the
whatever match that's going to set up the match for the following night.
Okay,
what that match is going to be.
Okay.
The reason I say that is because we're going to get to the main event. That's the last thing we're going to see. We're going to end it hot.
Yep.
But we do want to leave the audience some. All right, don't forget night 2. This match just became official. Whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
And you set up that match as the semi-main event of night 1 to then lead you to book the match the next night. So here's
so all right, so one more match and then we can.
So we got to book 3 matches. So I'm saying that's the second to last match.
Okay, which Road Warriors and Demolition?
Whatever. I'm not against either. Whatever match you think we should. That's probably the one that sets up the 8-man.
Okay.
Power and Glory.
Yep.
Match, whatever.
Okay.
That's the second to last match. I would put as the match before that, match number
5?
6? Or no, 5?
5, yeah.
I would put Boss Man in Perfect.
Okay.
And I don't know what else anyone's thinking about. I'm not in love with it. I'm just thinking okay, that's a little bit of a spectacle. Andre's there. There's stuff going on. It's not a nothing match. It's 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's almost 11. You know what I mean? So it's a decent.
And this time, and in our universe, the Intercontinental Championship is not online because that's been switched over to the blindfold match with Jake and Martel. So all right, so let me ask you something. From WrestleMania 7, Andre wasn't advertised to be in Boss Man's corner. He just showed up during the match.
Sure.
Do you keep that, or do you advertise Andre as like someone to back up Boss Man, knowing that Bobby Heenan and the Heenan family got something up their sleeve?
Do that. You're trying to spice up 2 nights.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dennis?
10,000%. Yeah. It's Andre the fucking Giant. You got to advertise him.
Okay. All right. That's fair. So Andre's advertised in Boss Man's corner against Mr. Perfect, who will have Bobby Heenan in his corner. Obviously, we know the Heenan family will get involved. So that's the 5th match on the card. Okay. So Boss Man, Mr. Perfect, not for the Intercontinental Championship in our universe of WrestleMania 7.
We're probably keeping the result, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, Bossman, I think, won by disqualification, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's what it says here. Disqualification. So he defeated Mr. Perfect. Didn't win the championship. So,
okay, so to that point, do you change the match to make it more favorable to Kurt Hennig on his way to becoming Intercontinental Champion after WrestleMania? Like, how does he, quote unquote, earn his title shot as Intercontinental Champion if he had
lost to the Bossman
by disqualification?
Okay.
Does he win the match somehow, and then maybe it ends with some favorable Andre Bossman moment where they get the better of the heels at the end? You know what I mean?
I could see that.
Does Perfect win the match?
I could see that. Maybe like All right. So here's something. Bossman's got the upper hand. Andre and Bobby are at ringside. Haku and Barbarian show up. They kind of tussle with Andre a little bit. Referee's kind of distracted from that. Heenan slides a pair of knucks to Mr. Perfect.
I think I agree with what you're about to say.
And Perfect gets the perfect plex, and
I don't know if it's a knucks though. I mean, Bossman's got a nightstick.
I like that better. I like that better.
You know what I mean?
So he grabs the nightstick that was in the corner.
Yeah.
Nails Bossman with it, gives it to Perfect.
One of Andre's crutches.
Well, Andre didn't have crutches. No, that was before Earthquake put him in the put him out of commission.
Walker things?
He didn't have those. He did not have those at all.
No, that's fine.
He walked to the ring on his own power that night. So Haku and Barbarian are kind of tussling with Andre on the outside. Ref's distracted. Bobby Heenan grabs the nightstick that's in the corner, and Perfect uses it to nail Bossman. 1, 2, 3. Perfect steals the victory. Post-match, the Heenan family continues the beatdown on Bossman, and they handcuff him to the rope in the corner, or to the turnbuckle, and all three, including Bobby, try to target Andre. And that's when Bossman makes the big babyface comeback and rips the handcuff off, the superhuman strength, grabs the nightstick, and him and Andre clean house.
I like that.
Against the Heenan family, and they have a curtain call moment, raise the hand, hug, the whole deal.
I like it.
Perfect gets that win that gives him momentum following WrestleMania to get an opportunity to get the championship against Jake the Snake.
Yeah, it's something.
And the crowd goes home happy that the Heenan family kind of got their comeuppance.
Yeah, exactly.
You good with that, Dennis?
10,000%. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I like that. All right. So the second to last match, the co-main event, match number 6.
I like the LOD versus Demolition. It's got the marquee value.
Yes.
The dream match value that didn't exist then, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think, like I said, I think it's a good teaser / reminder. Hey, there's more to, like, however it ends, the way you're going to lay it out in a second, it leads you to going, hey, fans, don't forget, there's night 2 tomorrow. You got to call your cable provider.
Yeah.
You can go see the Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
Get after Power and Glory or whatever is going to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
we could see something
it's happening right before the main event, so it's almost like the fluff and the filler is over now because the main event's happening, and that's what's going to be the focus. The lights are going to go down, if you will. So that's like the last plug before they go under.
What do you think of Demolition Road Warriors co-main event WrestleMania 7, Dennis?
Oh, fantastic! And just to give Demolition the proper swan song, that would have been the perfect last match for Demolition. Fuck Crush, the God bless him, but no. Let him be the one and done. He loses to LOD. Smash goes, fuck you, you suck, you're not Axe. This act is done, and then he becomes the Repo Man. He becomes Crush, and that's it, done.
I dig that. I like that. The split up happens. Well, all right. So here's the thing. Something takes place during the match that causes some sort of dissension amongst them, some mistiming, whatever. Now, like I mentioned earlier, Power and Glory were responsible for the Road Warriors not getting an opportunity at the Tag Team Championship at WrestleMania 7 in 1991. So this is where Power and Glory get involved in the match. jump on the Road Warriors. And then you got the Japanese boys, Tenryu and Katao, who, yeah, they're virtual nobodies in a sense with the, on WWF.
The mysterious foreigners from Japan.
In the WWF at that time. But them coming to the aid of the Road Warriors, I think would especially a team as popular as them, would be accepted amongst the WWF audience. I think it would get a solid reaction. So the match ends in a schmoz. You really don't get, to determine, who won, whether it was the Road Warriors or whether it was Demolition. But now you got all four of these teams going at it. Do you do the old SmackDown general manager Teddy Long, where he books the 8-man tag team match for the next night? You have Jack Tunney come out and him, or do you do it somewhere backstage?
They get to that fake locker room set that they have with Sean Mooney or Alex Trebek or Regis or whoever, and they're maybe Jack Tunney walks up on it and you book it then, or I want them. And, well, you heard it here, folks. Yeah. Tune in tomorrow to see da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So,
and maybe you get all the
so you book
all the sides. I'm thinking 1991.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Right.
Lord Alfred Hayes come out. It's like, Demolition and the Power and Glory are going to take on the Road Warrior. No. But anyhow. Okay, I can get behind that. Mm-hmm. So you get that schmoz finish. Commentary is... Well, does it go back to... Because you also got to remember, too, Bobby Heenan kind of bounced between commentary and between, representing his guys. So do you have some of that celebrity involvement? Or is Heenan on commentary with Monsoon towards the end of it? I mean, he would have to be on commentary for the main event.
I don't think you change the commentary at all.
Okay.
I think you leave it the way it is.
All right.
I know because Piper's kind of included, too.
He wasn't on that show as a commentator. No, he was in Virgil's Corner.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See?
But anyhow...
yeah. I would leave it.
So they cut to the commentator, Gorilla and Bobby arguing about the whole finish and et cetera, et cetera. Then Gorilla's like, hold on, Sean Mooney's backstage, or in the locker room with, and then that's where Jack Tunney's back there, and the Road Warriors and the Japanese boys are.
You know what?
Okay, expand on it.
Well, not on that. Going back to the commentating because we know what the main event's about to be. Mm-hmm. Well, finish your thought, and then I'll
So Tunney's back there. Road Warriors, Tenryu and Katao, they want Demolition and Power and Glory. Let us go back out there. Give us them right now. And, Tunney says, we don't have much time. Our main event's next. But if you want them, you got them tomorrow night, WrestleMania Sunday. And then they cut to Mean Gene, who's, backstage with Power and Glory and Demolition. And you can kind of see, Demolition arguing, and Slick and Power and Glory have to, kind of reel them in a little bit and just say, we got this match tomorrow night. Let's focus. We're going to destroy the Road Warriors. We're going to get rid of them once and for all. And, these new guys sticking their nose in our business. We're going to, show them, what we're all about, in very 1991 fashion.
Okay. Yeah. And so then, what's the match going to be the next day? The 8-man?
So the 8-man would be the Legion of Doom and Tenryu and Katao taking on Demolition and Power and Glory in an 8-man tag team match.
Right. I'm just slotting that in, not in any particular spot, but at least just having it written down.
Okay. So now here comes the main event for night 1 of WrestleMania 7. In my head, when I was thinking about this, I was toying with the idea of maybe doing Hogan and Slaughter as the night 1 main event.
No.
10,000%.
No.
10,000%.
I totally disagree with this.
All right, hold on. Dennis, here, you explain.
I vehemently disagree with this.
I was toying with the idea, but...
All right, so originally, riddle me this. They were going to go to the L.A. Coliseum for this WrestleMania. And why? Because Slaughter and Hogan were not selling. They had to go to an arena. So what was the bigger moment, the bigger event, the bigger match? By 20,000 miles is going to be the Ultimate Warrior versus King Macho Man's career match. 10,000%. You're telling me you remember that Hogan in the camel clutch?
I was 2. I don't remember any of it.
I'm just saying. No. People remember people remember Warriors fucking the foot on Savage's stomach. Then the bitch, Scary Sherry attacks him. Here comes Liz. They remember that way more than anything that happened to fucking Hogan versus the Sergeant Slaughter, and that is fact. Boom. The true main event of that event was by far Randy Macho Man Savage versus Ultimate Warrior. Not even close.
You got to change the whole aesthetic of WrestleMania, given it was Stars and Stripes, and that was the headline match for the war.
Which nobody gives a shit about. It was but LA Coliseum. It sold so great that they went from the LA Coliseum to an arena. Okay, that was the true main event. Not sure. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No.
Listen. What I'm telling you is that WrestleMania, the whole thing was themed about America and patriotism.
So was Lex Luger, and that was a fucking flop.
Well, we're not there yet. We're in 1991. We're in 1991.
I must say I have missed this. Okay, so continue this.
All I'm saying is that this is why you make 2-night WrestleManias, to make Savage and Warrior the main event. And I also have some ideas about how that can play into night 2. And we're gonna get the cart before the horse because I feel like I have to sell this really hard. I'm gonna lay out how night 1 is gonna end largely with a Savage Warrior match the way we saw it. Beautiful moment. Dennis is crying all over again. The Peppermint Patty girl's crying all over again. The kid in the
I'm sensitive. I'm proud of it.
You should be. I love the kid in the raincoat with the Coke bottle glasses. He's crying. It's a love fest. It's beautiful. Yeah. They ride off into the sunset. Macaulay Culkin's there too. Yeah. Christ.
Willie Nelson.
Yeah, everybody. It was beautiful. And we're going to have to book the main event right now for the next night for me to adequately explain why this should go the way it should go. Night 2, main event. Hulk Hogan is defending the honor of America. He's fighting for the rights of every man. And American Pie, he's defeating the Iraqi turncoat. This is getting better, by the way. He wins the match. But before he wins the match, Sergeant Slaughter's Triangle of Terror is trying to obviously make sure that Sergeant Slaughter leaves WrestleMania still the WWF champion and he can deliver the belt to Saddam Hussein himself. Who comes out? This is the end of an era, remember. This is a grand finale. What better way to make a grand finale for this era?
There you go.
Who comes out to help Hulk Hogan win or chase off the Triangle of Terror? Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant comes out, chases off Adnan and whatever Sheik's name was back then.
I don't even think he was a part of that, but go ahead.
You know what I'm talking about.
But no, we can add that to it. I like it.
He chases them off. Hogan and Andre back together again. The brothers are back together again. Hogan wins the match. Americana, the flags are waving. Andre's giving him giving him the flowers. The brotherhood is back. And who comes out to maybe interrupt? The Macho Man Randy Savage. The Macho Man Randy Savage, who just was forced into retirement the night before. A former bitter enemy of Hulk Hogan's, not 2 years earlier, comes out and the Mega Powers reunite. And we see what would be akin to, for comparison's sake, the end of an era before the end of an era takes place. And all three ride off into the sunset with Hulk Hogan now having brought the WWF Championship back to the United States of America. This was going to be the perfect way to end a podcast, but I had to bring it here now because you wanted to threaten a wonderful show with some cockamamie ending by putting Hulk Hogan, the biggest star in wrestling in 1991, in the Night 2 finisher, not the main event. Whole other podcast. That's how you end a WrestleMania.
No,
grand finale.
You end WrestleMania with Ultimate Warrior's greatest match and Macho Man's greatest moment. That's how you end a WrestleMania.
Yeah, WrestleMania Night 1. I'm loving this. WrestleMania Night 1 is how you end it.
No, absolutely not. People were falling asleep watching Hogan in the camel clutch for the fourth time.
They're not going to fall asleep until the Giant shows up. They're not going to fall asleep in the.
Oh yeah, Andre the Giant. Oh yeah, you're telling he's going to run in, but he's going to. So by the time he gets to the fucking gorilla position to the fucking ring, it's going to be 7.5 minutes. It's like, what, bro? No, Macho Man versus. That was the perfect WrestleMania match.
We let you have Jake Roberts win the Intercontinental Championship back
because that match needed something. That match needed something for. So Rick DeMarco Martel stole his eyesight. So,
I agree.
So the Snake had to steal something from him.
I agree. I don't disagree with that at all. We made a bold move on something that was very educated. All I'm saying is that I'm not trying to rewrite history in the sense of like what was the main attraction. Who's on the front? Who's on the poster? This is the magazine right here. I don't see. Do you see Savage and Warrior on that thing? Oh no! I see Hulk Hogan.
I want to shit on the main event, but no. People
look. Revisionist history is nice. We talked about this earlier. The quintessential WrestleMania moment. All the more perfect to close night one. And again, like I said, you create the happy ending with Andre and Hogan at night 2. You bring in Savage just to put a little bit more on the top, and to give the audience a chance to say goodbye to Savage again. And close that up and really get people thinking that this is the end of an era in the World Wrestling Federation.
I think they got the point when Liz and them are embracing, everyone's crying.
Yeah, he went back and he banged his girl again.
No, that's the way. That's the way.
Well, we're gonna let Dave decide.
That's the way WrestleMania should end.
We're going to let Dave decide. I agree. How it should end on Saturday.
I opened up that can of worms. I didn't expect this. But you know something? I've been waiting for Dennis, I've been waiting for a long time for you to bring... Honestly, I think your presence brings this version of him out of him. Because whenever him and I do these podcasts, I've been waiting for like the argumentative Dennis J. Levy to come out in some of our discussions.
It happens.
Every once in a while, but not like it used to. Like the first time when we were together, my goodness, like I was ready to throw you across the room because you
about the Young Bucks being like one of the best tag teams ever.
I was like, I
disagree now. My eyes are open. I'm sorry.
I can't believe I let this man in my house and he had the nerve to say that. Like, oh my goodness! Like
at the time, though,
I almost didn't post that.
Indies, no one's ever did in the Indies, and I thought that was going to be times a million when they finally got to be on the big screen, and now I learned why they were in the Indies.
Well, all is forgiven. I'll give you that. But I will say that was tremendous. Like your argument, and just it was absolutely tremendous. And with all right, so let me ask you something, Dennis. And this is. There's a couple of things that you have to keep in mind. If we're going to tweak some stuff, but we're also going to try to stay true to what took place in 1991. If you want Savage and Warrior to go on last at WrestleMania on night 2, you also have to remember that WrestleMania was the night that Sherry was after she lost her meal ticket to Randy Savage, she joined up with the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase after his match. So how do you explain that?
Oh, that means Ted DiBiase's got a main event WrestleMania now.
No,
exactly.
That's fucking easy. The next superstars wrestling, you have Scary Sherry go on the Brother Love show going, I'm a free agent, and then bam, here comes the $1 Million Man. I got money. You're fucking hot. Boom, you're with me now, bitch. Okay, boom, done. Wow, that was hard.
I love you. Okay. Your idea still sucks.
I'm not going to be that harsh.
You were able to easily
you bounced back.
You bounced your way through that.
You bounced back for that. All right.
Good.
You know what? We're going to hold that explanation for night 2. We'll hold that. Just keep that in the air. As far as I'm concerned, I'm going to go with Justin's idea. With Warrior and Savage main eventing night 1.
I think it's good
you end the night with, the hug and the kiss, Gorilla and Bobby, signing off, what an unbelievable WrestleMania moment, et cetera, hell, they could even close the show with like a Randy Savage video package with like highlights of like, his most memorable moments, or you close it with like Savage and Liz walking out and Maybe you even break as they say, the fourth wall a little bit. And you got wrestlers backstage like congratulating him, hugging him, saying goodbye to him in a sense. And then, WrestleMania goes off the air.
I just have one trivia question for the both of you.
Okay.
What were the words on the Ultimate Warrior's trunks?
Something about the title meaning, this means more than the title. Means more than this, yeah. And then there was a picture of the title.
That's right.
Oh, I mean, you make a strong argument, Dennis.
Which is why it can main event night one.
Yeah.
Because what usually main events? A title match. The Intercontinental title isn't going to be main eventing.
What was the main event of WrestleMania 8? It was Hogan versus fucking Sid Justice.
Yeah, but we're not in 1992 yet, Dennis.
That's 1 year away. Oh Jesus! What a crazy idea! Oh, at WrestleMania 1. Oh,
it's not crazy.
Oh no!
I just think the thing that's keeping me with Hogan. Look, Hulk Hogan.
I'm the king of tunnel vision.
Hulk Hogan. You're not going to get me to say much that's great about Hulk Hogan, other than what's objectively true.
Yeah, considering he's a Bret Hart guy,
you're not going to. Other than what's objectively true, you're not going to get me to sing Hulk Hogan's praises.
Yeah.
But what I think is Hulk Hogan, Sergeant Slaughter. Again, I'm going to pull the magazine up here that no one can see. Stars and Stripes. He's not even wearing. He's wearing a Stars and Stripes bandana. It's
so great that their big idea was a Coliseum into an arena. That sold so.
So hold on, wait. Okay.
Yeah.
Savage and Warrior is going to sell at the Coliseum.
Better than Hogan fucking that Sergeant Slaughter.
That's not what I asked. Are they selling out the Coliseum or are they relocating to the LA Sports Arena?
Probably not.
Exactly.
I think Hogan and Warrior could have sold out the Coliseum. If we're going to have that discussion, I think Hogan and Warrior in the WrestleMania 7, the rematch from the year prior. I think that could have. I wouldn't say. I'm not saying they were going to do 100,000 people in 1991, but they probably would have been in I bet you they would have gotten in the 70s, and they probably would have what they would have touted that as is they broke the attendance from the years prior WrestleMania when Hogan and Warrior headlined in Skydome.
So I'm going to add one more element to that ending I gave for WrestleMania. My version of WrestleMania Night 2 with Savage and Andre and Hogan, and I'm gonna steal a little bit from history we've already seen before. The love fest, the reunion, the hugging and the crying, Savage getting more curtain calls and Andre getting his and Hogan getting his. Who's standing at the curtain? The Ultimate Warrior. Just standing there like Owen Hart. Just
I beat you, I won this, and they're celebrating you and not me.
We should be it's more than this.
Yeah.
It's more than this.
You like that?
And who knows what happens from there.
No.
So it kind of is like a little... Okay. You're dying on this hill.
No. The last moment is Les and him saying goodbye. That's got to be it. No. You can
okay.
throw anyone you want. Throw in Andre the Giant. It's going to take 7.5 minutes to get you got Ultimate Warrior going to Hogan. I want you next. Fine. All that stuff is great. But no. But Macho Man's once Liz goes in, Macho Man's done until SummerSlam.
Okay.
So hold on. So to that point, this wonderful moment's going to end WrestleMania. Yeah. And he comes back 3 months later.
Well,
this wonderful moment that you're just rose-colored lensing.
You are committed, pal.
This is the best thing that's ever happened, and I'm sure it was.
Okay, so
it's raw to you, and I get it.
Fine. You can do all your hypotheticals. I'm talking reality. What was the most memorable match by leaps and bounds of that WrestleMania?
Yeah, it was Warrior and Savage.
So by that, the best match of that WrestleMania?
So by that logic, let's have let's have Steamboat and Savage main event WrestleMania 3.
Yeah.
Why did people
Piper and Brett should main event WrestleMania 8?
Why did people go to Detroit that day? Let's see Andre the Giant versus Hogan.
And I'm willing to bet they also went to see Hulk Hogan beat Sergeant Slaughter.
I don't think they did.
Enough of them that wanted to go to the Coliseum first.
20,000 at least.
Yeah. I'm just I love the idea from the standpoint of like the world we live in now.
Here's another rebuttal. Name me one time in that match when the entrances, the match itself, the ending, where people just lost their fucking minds in that match. They just didn't.
You talking about Hogan and Slaughter?
Yes, they didn't.
It didn't at all, or didn't in comparison to Hogan and Savage and
They
Warrior.
were like, the people were just like, what the fuck did we just watch?
I don't know. I think you're underselling it. I don't know if that's.
I'm not underselling it.
This isn't. I don't know. You're like.
You're forgetting how much people just sat on their hands that whole fucking match.
I don't know, man.
I implore you to watch that match.
I've watched it. I will watch it again. I'm not saying it was a classic by any stretch of the imagination. I guess what I mean is like, it wasn't Triple H versus Batista at WrestleMania 35. Like, it wasn't a shit show. Like, it was still a match that had meaning, that was really the centerpiece of the event. It really was.
But I respect you guys' opinions. Two versus one. You
finally hanging it up?
It's. I'm just saying.
I totally like I said. If you take the Stars and Stripes motif out of it, and it's not a patriotic leaning WrestleMania, I probably agree with you.
Okay, but here's my candidate on the head.
I probably agree with you.
If we were the head bookers of the WWE, and now it's 2 versus 1, we know what the main event is. I have the candidate though. Macho Man's not coming out night 2. No, he's not coming out night 2.
Well, at all?
No, absolutely not. That's the last moment. We're crying because of Liz's love. That's the last massive moment that we have to have Macho Man. We cannot ruin that moment.
Look, honestly, I think I can concede that.
That's too priceless.
I don't disagree with that. I think in the interest of fairness and concession in our lives at this moment, because people have to go to sleep tonight. I think that's a fair concession to make. I think
so. All right. So I got something.
Can he come out when they go off the air and it's exclusive to Coliseum on video?
So I can expand. That's awesome. So I can expand upon that just a little bit.
That's
all right.
Fair. That's fair.
I can expand upon that a little bit. All right. I'd be totally fine with that if Savage and Liz were the last image you saw at WrestleMania and they didn't come out for night 2. Okay. However, what I think would be kind of neat is if at the end of night 2, Savage and Liz are in the ring, and out comes Hogan.
At the end of night 2?
At the end of night 1. Hogan comes out, and they shake hands, they hug. He curtain calls Savage. Okay, he kind of gives Savage that moment, similar to how they he raised his hand at WrestleMania 4, right? And then Savage kind of gives him that endorsement of like, all right, you go get that title for America, brother. And
I like that.
We're making
headway.
And Hogan and Savage, they end WrestleMania with like Hogan, like I said, endorsing Savage, raising his hand, raising Liz's hand, giving them the spotlight by putting that Hogan dust on there a little bit.
I'm okay with that.
All right.
Let me sprinkle on a little bit more.
All right.
That's true to the history of those 3 people.
Okay.
Savage proposes to Liz right there on the spot.
But how would it make even more why they close the show? How does in what world? Okay, now.
Did I just take us backwards?
I was saying, what world now would that mean? Would Hogan versus Slaughter be more important? If then, boom.
Oh, here we go. Hold on. All right. Now, while I think that might be just a little bit overkill, here's how we can save. Hold on, let me finish. Here's how we can save that. Right? Hogan comes out. They hug. It's kind of like a reunion because they hadn't been, Mega Power Brothers in a couple of years, right? He endorses Savage, raises his hand, hugs Liz. They raise hands. Everyone's fucking crying. Oh my God, Mega Power's back, blah blah blah, et cetera, right? Savage does the whole, win that title for America, brother.
I could leave it at that.
Okay, I could leave it at that. Proposal. However, if Savage does do the marriage proposal, they fucking leave leave Liz's answer as a cliffhanger till night 2.
That actually kind of makes sense.
This man didn't want Savage to come. This man didn't want Savage to come out after night one.
But no, that kind of makes sense. No. You're just ending just like that. Like I said, look, if George Costanza taught us anything, what do? You tell the joke and you fucking leave the room. But you leave it on a high note. You don't fucking ruin the moment.
Okay, no, that's fair. We can save the marriage proposal for when it does really happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we can go with the Mega Powers make amends, reunite moment that helps kind of send Savage.
I'm accepting this as an acceptable ending.
It's an acceptable finish in your mind.
Okay. So again, to recap, we get largely the match we saw.
Yep.
Right. We get largely the finish we saw.
Correct.
Not largely, 100%. The Sherry comes in, berates Savage, beats him up. Liz makes the save. The hug and the kiss. They're back together. The love story endures.
Everyone's crying in the audience.
Lives. Everything. All those people I made fun of who probably are whatever. Wasn't nice of me. But that all happens, and then that's when Hulk shows up. And again, there's no like
Hulk don't. Yeah, exactly. Hulk don't come out music. He's not even in gimmick. He's in like he's in like his spandex cowboy boots and like the red, white, blue bandana.
Whoa, what's he doing?
Yeah, what's Hulk doing here?
And then
and even Savage is like the handshake, the arm raising, the hug. They all they all embrace. You end WrestleMania night one with the Mega Powers closing it out.
Honestly, the more I think about it, I think that's better than the original version I had, which was Andre and then Savage.
Well, we can
I want to keep
up. Andre with making the save against the foreign lines, whatever.
Okay.
I'm not okay.
That's fair. I think we landed on it.
Okay.
We landed on it.
All right.
We landed on it.
So let's run down the card for night one before we get into night two.
All right, night one. We open up with Rockers versus Haku and Barbarian. And Rockers win that, right?
Yep. Same finish as before.
Yep.
Bulldog versus Warlord. Oh, this is Warrior. Bulldog. Who won that again?
Bulldog did.
Yep.
Fair. The blindfold match is now for the Intercontinental Championship.
Jake the Snake
going to win that.
He wins his first title in WWF history. That's a cool moment. I like that, Dennis.
Yeah, I do. Greg Valentine versus Earthquake. Are we going to do the Beefer and the Dream Team reunites? I'm not married to it, but I think it's a cool moment.
Keep Earthquake strong. All right, there you go. Because he's going to kill Jake's. He's going to kill Damien. So yeah, he's got to have some momentum. Got to have some momentum. So Beefer's going to sit this one out, or maybe we'll talk about that. I got an idea. We'll talk about that in a minute.
I think I might have one too.
Yep.
Anyways, next is Boss Man with Andre against Perfect with Heenan. Perfect's going to win that, and probably some heelish.
Yep.
With the nightstick.
The
way you kind of laid it out.
And then the post matches, they handcuff Boss Man to try and gang up on Andre, and Boss Man breaks free from the cuffs, makes a save, hug and kiss, curtain call, et cetera, et cetera.
LOD versus Demolition.
Yep.
Good semi, given the
history.
Yeah.
Power and Glory get involved.
Yep.
Which then sets up, or then Tenryu and Katal show up. Then they set it up backstage in the locker room. Jack Tunney books the match, 8-man tag, WrestleMania, Sunday, LOD, Tenryu Katal against Power and Glory and Demolition. And then the main event, career-ending match, Macho King, Randy Savage with Queen Sherry, falling to the Ultimate Warrior. Same match, same finish, everything. The only thing we add to it is at the end when Savage and Liz are embracing, Hogan shows up to endorse Savage. Or to embrace with him. They reunite, raise hands. Savage kind of gives Hogan that endorsement of like, you go get that title for America, brother. And we end WrestleMania night one, Stars and Stripes forever, with the Mega Powers reuniting. We kick off night two. Let's get into night two now. All right, Kick off night two with the Nasty Boys defeating the Hart Foundation for the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team titles. We said, just a little while ago, we were going to kind of keep the finish that way. Start off night two with a title change.
Yep, I agree with that.
With the heels getting a title.
Riding high. We had a great moment with America last night. America Powers coming together. What could be better? It's only going to go up from here. Nope. Nasty Boys, they do their thing. They're the tag champs.
All right, so
I think that's pretty good formula.
So the second match for WrestleMania Night 2, Dennis, what do you think should follow the tag team championship match.
Forgive me. Give me some.
Okay, so we got Texas Tornado and Dino Bravo.
Yeah.
We have Undertaker and Jimmy Snuka.
Oh, that's Scream's second match. Let's go.
Snuka?
Yeah.
We have Virgil and DiBiase, the Mountie and Tito Santana.
Tito went over, right?
No, Mountie did. And it was only a minute and 21 seconds.
To be honest, I like to skip.
So I switched the same match, different result. Heels just won in the tag titles. Tito go over and make the crowd happy again.
Tito goes over the Mountie.
Tito goes over the Mountie.
Tito had eaten a number of WrestleMania losses, so I wouldn't be against Tito defeating the Mountie in like a quick roll up kind of thing.
I bet you in the back that's right. They flip the coin. I bet you Vince goes, "Hey boys, come on. Heads it's Tito, tails it's Mountie. Let's go."
So are we going number 2 with that?
Yeah.
I think make the crowd happy again.
Hang on, just to be clear, Jimmy Hart is accompanying the Nasty Boys to the ring, and then he's coming right back out.
That's a good call.
He's coming right back out with the Mountie afterwards.
He's also got Dino Bravo and Texas Tornado.
Yeah, so he's got a busy night.
He's also got Dino Bravo and Texas Tornado. So that's a good point. You got to spread out Jimmy Hart. Yeah, so if anything, maybe you go with.
I think you go Taker Snuka.
Same finish, 2 heels. Or if we wanted to really
Virgil DiBiase. That would be my other idea.
Well, Virgil won by defeating DiBiase by countout, but I had an idea for that to kind of tweak some things with Virgil and DiBiase. It just depends on where we want to place it on the card. Would you like me to share, or do you want to try to lock in the second match?
Let's hear it.
Okay. So Piper was at ringside for the match with Virgil and DiBiase. Virgil won by countout. Okay. What if?
God, I'm so sorry. Can I stop you for a second? I have to go back to the main event of night 1 that we've decided.
Okay.
Roddy Piper gets on commentary for that match. Who better to know about a career ending than Roddy Piper?
So it's
joins commentary to be a third.
Okay, so Piper, Heenan, and Gorilla. I like that.
That's all I had to say.
Okay,
I thought about it earlier.
That's fine.
And it lost me in our.
I'm down with that
heated debate. What do you think, Dennis? What do you like about that?
I'm not hating it, not liking it either.
It's not like critical. It's just a nice.
It's Heenan, Gorilla. They're just too good. I wouldn't fuck with it.
Okay.
Take it or leave it. It's not.
I don't care. I'm not losing sleep on it.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Same here.
All right.
But yeah, go back. I'm sorry.
So DiBiase lost by countout. Piper was in Virgil's corner. Okay. And if you remember at the end, Sherry came out and pretty much, showed her allegiance to now the $1 Million Man because, her meal ticket, Randy Savage, was done for. His career was over. So she had to find a new man. And so I like your idea, Dennis, that you brought up earlier about like on Superstars of Wrestling, she announces that she's like a free agent as a manager. Mm-hmm. And she's looking to build clientele. So what if, instead of Virgil winning by countout, let's say, and this also ties into Piper as well, let's say Sherry gets involved. And there's a mystery as to why she's out there, okay? Piper's on crutches because he had gotten into a motorcycle accident, okay? So Sherry steals one of his crutches, and she starts swinging it on the outside. And then Piper manages to get a hold of Sherry, which distracts Virgil, okay? Then DiBiase has got Virgil in the $1 Million Dream. And the referee now tends to Sherry, who's on the apron. Piper goes to nail DiBiase, nails Virgil by accident, inadvertently costing him the match. And instead of the sequence at the end where Virgil gets on the mic and tells Piper to stand up and get up and be a man, Virgil walks out on Piper. Now, it's not any kind of like heel turn or anything like that, but it's more about Virgil wanting to be able to beat DiBiase on his own.
Be his own man.
Be his own man. And so he's not happy that he's not happy that Roddy cost him. He respects and is grateful for Roddy mentoring him as a young upstart against his former, employer, the $1 million man. But he wants to do this on his own. And then that segues and sets up Virgil and DiBiase, where Virgil tells Piper, hey, I need you to sit this one out. Based on what took place at WrestleMania, I need to do this on my own. And if you go back and you remember that SummerSlam match, DiBiase was having his way with Virgil, and he was interacting with Piper, who was sitting at commentary. And you could create that moment of Piper wants to help Virgil out because he's in trouble, but he also gave Virgil his word that he was going to sit this one out. So DiBiase, remember when he suplexed him a couple of times? He was like, I got one more for you, big man. And Piper stood up. He was like, that's not for me. Come on, Virgil. And then Virgil made the big comeback.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of married.
So are we going with this as a second match?
I mean, we could. It's just another heel. So we're starting the night out already with the heels winning the tag team title. So if you want to kind of have a babyface pick up a victory, I kind of like Dennis's idea about Tito beating the Mountie. Because you already had a match that's got stakes.
I don't know if we necessarily have to have a match that just has the babyface winning. Just because we had a heel win the match before it. I'm not.
Okay, that's fair. But I also think too, DiBiase and Virgil is a featured match on the card. So between the title match opening and then you have a featured match as the second match, I would kind of spread that love a little bit and maybe move DiBiase and Virgil later into the show.
Okay, so here's another thought.
Okay.
You do the 8-man tag.
I was just gonna say, what do you think about that, Dennis?
Yeah, that makes the most sense.
8-man tag, Road Warriors, Tenryu and Katao over taking on Demolition and Power and Glory.
I would go with that.
Okay. Who goes over? We going baby faces?
No, baby faces. No. You're talking about my favorite childhood wrestlers for Demolition, but that would make zero sense for them to go over.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that.
Now, your idea earlier about Smash, Dump, and Crush. Does Crush eat the pinfall in this match? And then Smash is just like, yeah, we're done here. I'm through with you. And then that's like that signals.
He walks out halfway through the match. He sees that there's not the chemistry's not there, and he just walks out saying, "Oh fuck this, I'm done with this." And he just walks out. Next time you see him, a couple Monday nights later on the repo, man. But yeah, that's how I want to remember my Demolition.
Axis Smash.
Yeah, Axis Smash.
Okay.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay, so second match, Demolition and Power and Glory fall victim to Tenryu and Katao and the Legion of Doom, and then that's where we see the breakup of Demolition. Smash, let's say Smash and Fuji dump Crush, and Fuji nails Crush in the back with the cane, or here's even one better. I like one better. What if Fuji just walks out on both of them, and then they're both upset with each other, Smash and Crush, and they kind of argue, and then they brawl to the back. Okay. And we never see Demolition again, or Demolition just decides to go their separate ways.
I really like that. That's Diet Royal Rumble. When Axis Smash was 1 and 2, that was their holy shit, their fucking awesome moment, and then
when they started 1 and 2,
they go out like a Diet Royal Rumble. I fucking love that idea. Fucking love that idea.
All right, so are we gonna lock that one in?
That's the second match.
Yeah. 8-man tag, Legion of Doom, Tenryu and Katao over Demolition and Power and Glory. Crush eats the pinfall, and Fuji's upset with both of them, and he leaves them both high and dry. Then they both start blaming each other. No, it was your fault. No, it was your fault. Shoving match, fisticuffs, etc., etc. Power and Glory, they just kind of powder out because they really don't have anything to do with it. They can resume their stuff with Legion of Doom later on down the line. And that's the end of Demolition for the second match.
Selfishly, I would love that.
Okay.
That's how Demolition ends.
So, what are we looking at for the third match? Here's some of our options.
We gotta go singles. Too much tag.
I'm thinking it's one of two matches. it's Texas Tornado versus Dino Bravo or Mountie versus Tito.
Okay.
We got Jimmy Hart. We got to give a healthy rotation too, but also not consecutively.
So I would like, personally, I'd put Mountie and Tito in that spot.
And Tito goes over?
And I'd like to see Tito go over. Give him a WrestleMania win. But Mountie gets his heat back. He's got the shock stick. Okay? Yeah. So Tito gets the win. He celebrates. But when the post-match, not long after the bell, Mountie jumps him from behind, and he uses that shock stick.
And the masked man comes in.
The masked man. So I'm guessing this is where we discussed earlier that he was going to have a role on the show.
No, this is actually better than that.
Okay.
So I like the whole idea. Tito wins. He gets a moment. And I might be a little repetitive here on what I'm about to say. You might see some patterns, some fingerprints of what we've been talking about. Mm-hmm. But Mountie goes to get his heat back. And then the Dragon shows up. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Ooh.
And comes to the aid, fire breathing and all.
Ooh.
Is the weapon of choice that thwarts the taser stun gun.
The shock stick.
The shock stick.
The cattle prod. The cattle prod
of the Mountie.
What do you think of that, Steamboat?
I really like it.
Yeah.
It's just his way to reintroduce, and maybe you get a match on TV with
Superstars, Wrestling Challenge, yeah.
Whatever.
Let's go. The Dragon versus the Mountie. Let's go.
Okay.
It's really just a way to bring him back.
I like that. He makes his return at WrestleMania to the aid of Tito Santana.
A new, improved, more colorful looking character of
Ring. I like that. So that's match number 3, correct? That's
yep.
All right, so Tito and the Mountie. So far we've had the WWF Tag Team Championship change hands with Nasty Boys defeating the Hart Foundation. We had the 8-man tag that we had kind of modified with the Legion of Doom and Tenryu Katao defeating Power and Glory and Demolition. We would see Demolition split up, Mr. Fuji dumping them, and then them splitting up. And now we've seen Tito Santana defeat the Mountie. And following that, the Mountie was looking to exact some kind of revenge on Tito, only for the fire-breathing dragon that is Ricky Steamboat making his return to the World Wrestling Federation. So, what do we got for our 4th match here? Who picked that 3rd match? Was that me? Was that you, Dennis? That was you, technically, right?
That was me, yeah.
Okay, so for a 4th match, Justin, what do you think? What do you think should be following this with?
I'm thinking Virgil DiBiase.
Okay, it's got some stakes to it.
Yeah.
Well, not stakes, but it's a personal rivalry.
Or Undertaker Snuka.
Okay,
that's one of those two.
I would actually kind of go Virgil DiBiase. Now, are we married to the idea of?
I like the idea you presented, though.
Okay.
So,
what do you think of that, Dennis? The idea that I presented, where
how you bring Sherry in,
how Sherry comes in, she's a mystery. Okay, she stops. She goes after Piper because he's on crutches. She's part of the distraction. DiBiase's got the advantage over Virgil. Piper goes into the ring swinging the crutch. DiBiase ducks. He nails Virgil, and then DiBiase picks up the win.
I like that a lot. I do. And, Virgil was still fish out of water in that whole time, and that whole thing. Virgil wasn't ready.
Yeah,
he did for where he was in his life. He did an okay job, but yeah, in no way should have been over. That's why but we get the gist. Anyway,
Post match, Virgil, Piper's kind of in the corner, and he's looking for Virgil to help him up. He extends his hand, and Virgil's just kind of Virgil reluctantly helps him up, but he does not walk out with Piper. He walks out ahead of Piper.
I'm okay with that.
And this leads to later on down the line, whether it's a month or 2 months from now, Virgil pretty much telling Piper while I'm grateful and appreciative of you being my mentor and you helping me during this time and navigating helping me navigate my career against, my old employer. I needed to do that on my own. And next time, I'm going to need you to sit this one out.
I think you're a sweetheart and thinking, like, Virgil's capable of doing, like, an extended, like, program, per se. I would squash it. He loses. Adios. You're going to jobber to mid-card status. You're done. He can't. No, he sucks on the mic. He's even worse in the ring.
All right, but let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Is that opinion because of? Is that opinion because you don't really care for him as a skill, or because of the way that, like, the storyline played out? Did you not like the storyline?
The storyline that was fantastic.
Okay,
but it was.
But so you think it should be one and done after that? He doesn't. There's no chance of him getting a rematch.
10,000%.
Even though he didn't technically really lose the match, Piper lost it for him.
Bro, he sucks. I don't know what to tell you.
But isn't it fair to say though that that's what they were on the path to finding that out? Because we're looking at it in hindsight. We didn't know I was 2. I don't know.
All right.
Did you know he sucked back then?
Oh, absolutely. I can even tell you in the match that I was like, wow, this guy fucking blows. It actually was kind of a cool match because Sid Vicious kicked the shit out of him. But that match with Sid Vicious snakes died him. He's wearing his, I can remember it like yesterday. I can guarantee you it was white with red stripes. Fucking the spandex pants. Vanilla is a motherfucker. Vanilla in the ring. Can't talk for shit. Yeah, I'm done with him. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, to each his own. I think maybe Virgil won't be as articulate as I illustrated it, but I think Virgil will. I could see Virgil telling Piper, like, next time, let me be my own man. Let me, I don't need your help. And then that leads to the rematch at SummerSlam. This time it's for the $1 million title. And while Piper's not in his corner, Piper's at ringside on commentary with Gorilla and Bobby. And then we get what we get at SummerSlam with DiBiase taunting Piper while he's beating up Virgil. And then Virgil eventually wins the belt and, pawns it off for a boombox, as Bobby Heenan said. All right, so that's the 4th match. Fair to say, so really what we have left here would be.
I think you got to go back to a Jimmy Hart match.
So that would be Texas Tornado and Dino Bravo.
Yeah.
Okay. And then after that, we're looking at Undertaker and Jimmy Snuka.
Yep.
And then we got the main event. Now, is there anything regarding either of those matches, Texas Tornado and Dino Bravo or Undertaker and Jimmy Snuka, that you would like to alter that took, from what took place in 1991?
No, there's sometimes even in your biggest event, you're seeing a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Moment. And no, those are those two.
So Tornado makes quick work.
We're ready for the main event at this point.
Okay. So do we add, like, there really wasn't a co-main event on this night. So do we add some kind of a moment that, like, or maybe an impromptu match of sorts? Is there any way that we can introduce something that?
Why was Piper just chilling? Was he hurt? We need Piper in a match.
He got into a motorcycle accident, but he was also working commentary at that time, so he was not wrestling. He was only on commentary, and I don't know if he was. I don't think he was scheduled to wrestle at that WrestleMania, but I know that he got in a motorcycle accident, and they used that as a part of the story with his role in Virgil's corner, with him being hurt. So that would explain why he didn't wrestle. But do we introduce? I mean, is there any kind of moment we could have, or is there something where, whether it be with a celebrity or somebody that's, maybe on the roster that didn't get an opportunity on the show in a match, or do we just go right to the main event?
I think we go to the main event given what we've proposed for the main event.
Okay.
That's a lot.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's a lot to... That's the climax.
All right.
It's the O phase.
So Hogan Slaughter for the title. General Adnan at ringside. I guess we can introduce Colonel Mustafa into the mix because he didn't show up to WWF not long after. So maybe Mustafa, gets involved in the match, and then that's how it ends up. We get to.
And this is where this is where the Masked Man comes in.
And it's revealed as Brutus Beefcake.
And it's like, my brother, you got my brother. And they get him out of the equation. Then that's when Andre shows up.
Okay.
So, basically, Brutus is fodder. He's not special. He's a body that we're going to use to get that emotion. Like, oh my God, he's here to save Hulk Hogan. And he saves Hulk Hogan.
Does he save Hulk Hogan as Brutus Beefcake, or does he save him as the Masked Man?
Okay, so he's the Masked Man, and he gets unmasked after he gets apprehended.
Okay.
Or he turns, and he is also a part of the Iraqi regime and goes after Hulk Hogan. And then Andre the Giant shows up.
That's about as terrible as when they wanted to make Sheik Tugboat.
He's just a body, though. He's not like he's going to come out next week and be, Iraqi Brudai. You know what I mean, or whatever. Although
Brutus Hussein,
it wouldn't be the dumbest gimmick he had.
No, he's had worse.
That's not what I'm proposing. I'm proposing a character overhaul that's going to make millions of dollars. Although that would be
Brutus the Turban.
No, let's not. But
he's strutting and suicide bombing. No, I'm just kidding.
You go.
I'm terrible.
Like I said, you go one of two ways. You go. He shows up true to his character, saving these baby faces, and to add the drama, it is then revealed when he fails to be Brutus Beefcake, Hogan's blood brother.
All right, I have to stop you. Okay, I'm sorry to do this.
Go for it.
This thought just came to me.
Okay.
We had no. We had Undertaker squash Jimmy Snuka in the semi-main, right? Do we do some kind of a tease with him and Ultimate Warrior following WrestleMania? Because it was following WrestleMania that Undertaker stuffed the Ultimate Warrior in the casket on the funeral parlor. Do we get some sort of a face-off? Maybe some sort of run-in in the locker room? Maybe they interview the Ultimate Warrior, and they want to get his thoughts on Randy Savage and the career match, and maybe there's some sort of
Sean Mooney's got the stick on him.
And then maybe Undertaker and Paul Bearer appear, and something about his career is dead just like you will be, or something like that.
Something to leave us with.
Something to leave us. Okay.
Get us to.
Now, would Warrior make a cameo at the end of Undertaker Snuka, or do you just leave it at that?
Let's leave it at that.
Okay.
In the 1991 world, we probably just leave it at that.
Okay, that's fair. All right, I could settle for that. So we do an interview. Warrior gets interviewed by Sean Mooney. They interview him, and he's not the Ultimate Warrior of Hulk Hogan and all the Warriors. Like, he's not crazy like that. You actually get a more calmer, almost like they were interviewing Jim Hellwig in a way, to kind of share his thoughts on the match, and he kind of puts Savage over for bringing him to the limit, and testing, if he had, if this was his destiny to defeat him, and et cetera, and then Undertaker and Paul Bearer appear, and they have a little moment, and then that kind of plants the seed for what's to take place. All right, now we get to the main event, okay? Because I have an idea of maybe Warrior being one of those guys to help Hogan fight off the Triangle of Terror at the end of WrestleMania. However, if he had done something with Undertaker following WrestleMania in 1991, I would just kind of leave his involvement for the moment I just illustrated with him and Undertaker. So we get to the moment, where we get to the main event. Hogan Slaughter, WrestleMania. General Adnan in Slaughter's corner. This is where we get the introduction of Colonel Mustafa, making it the Triangle of Terror, who was formerly known as the Iron Sheik. Okay? How does this all land? How does this all play out?
I think it plays out very classically in the sense that all those henchmen they insert themselves, however, by hook or crook to help Slaughter win. and it looks like Hulkamania is on the ropes, like the same old formula, right? I know that's not entertaining, and it gives credence to Dennis's earlier comments about being unable to sell at the Los Angeles Coliseum.
Yeah,
and I don't disagree with that.
Yeah,
but it at least is a formula that we understand, and I think might have some emotion attached to it, and that's where I like the idea of entering in Brutus.
Okay.
In one scenario or the other. Again, the babyface scenario where he's coming to save Hulk Hogan. It's revealed after he's been apprehended, and they've tied him up, and they unmask him, and it's Hulk Hogan's blood brother Brutus. And it's like, oh no, look what you did to my brother. And he's laid to waste. And then that's when Andre makes the comeback. Or Hulk Hogan comes, or the Masked Man comes in, and you think he's here to save Hulk Hogan, given his past behavior, right? Only to turn on Hulk Hogan. But
all right, so I just Googled this.
Then bring in Andre.
I just Googled this Brutus Beefcake gimmick. Mm-hmm. It was like a mystery man gimmick, but the name was supposed to go by the name of the Mariner. Okay, this is the picture where.
Okay.
So
it's stupid.
So he wasn't targeting one particular heel. He was targeting more so the baby faces, or the heels that were getting they were cheating on the baby faces,
and that fits perfectly.
And so this fits perfectly with him making an appearance to try to help Hogan. Then it gets revealed he's his blood brother, and like, oh my God, now they got Hogan's, they got Brutus.
It was Brutus the whole time. Oh my God,
yeah.
They got him. This potential Avenger is here to help, and he gets the best of it. You know what I mean? From the Triangle of Terror, enter in Andre. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it.
Andre marches down to the ring, and he kind of he kind of fights off Adnan and Mustafa.
You know what I mean?
While Hogan finishes off Slaughter.
And there might be a tinge of like, what's Andre? Like, what's he doing here? Like, why would he like?
Yeah.
Oh no, not him too, or whatever. You know?
Yeah.
Whose side is he on? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like,
okay.
Then Andre comes in and he saves his brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the way I see it.
You want to say something, Dennis?
No, I'm fine.
You done with it?
I'm good.
Why? Because you didn't get your way?
I'm not crying sour grapes. It's just that I don't know. I have no one opinion one way or the other.
We're going back to this?
I swear I'm not part of it.
Okay. All right.
I think for what the cards are dealt currently, I think it's a fine idea, yeah.
Okay. And so Hogan wins, recaptures the championship for the United States of America. He's in the ring. They kind of help Brutus up. Him and Andre embrace.
I don't know if Brutus needs to be a part of the moment, though.
Okay, so like
he's more of like now
he's the fodder. He's the cannon fodder. Like just kind of like
It was just to get Andre out.
Yeah.
On top of the advantage that the bad guys were having.
Really would blow the load. Is there any way a true politician could have been at that event at that time? I'm thinking Colin Powell. Can you imagine if here's the
Donald Trump was there.
Anyway, at the time he wasn't a known politician.
Fair.
But I'm just saying, who is even above Bush at the time? Who was our hero? It was Colin Powell. If he was there on front row, and what
was his title? Secretary of Defense?
Yeah, Secretary of Defense. Yeah.
No, he was an Army general, but yeah.
Watching these guys do all this shit, and all of a sudden, finally he comes out, he punches one of them, he punches the other guy, and then boom, Logan does the kick, the leg drop.
I got an idea.
That's not.
I got an idea. Okay, I like the Brutus thing. All right, I like the Andre thing, but before we get to Andre, even before we get to Brutus, Chuck Norris was sitting in that in the audience.
Gosh, yes.
Okay, if you want to add a little sports entertainment, Gaga WrestleMania to it, you have Chuck Norris jump the guardrail.
All USA bullshit.
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
You have Chuck Norris jump the guardrail to come to Hulk Hogan's aid.
People would lose their shit.
Okay,
I think
you have Chuck Norris jump the guardrail after Beefcake got taken out, and then hold on. You have Beefcake come in. He unmasks after the heels got him. Boom, 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 boom. They dump the heat on him. Right? Hogan's in insurmountable odds. Camera cuts to Chuck Norris, who was sitting with Lou Ferrigno and Henry Winkler from Happy Days. We're not going to have the Fonz get involved in the match, or Ferrigno, but Chuck Norris jumps the rail. And then you see like the officials like Pat Patterson and Rene Goulet and a bunch of referees. They're like, what the heck is going on? And Norris blasts through all of them and gets in the ring, and he stands side by side with Hogan. Now, meanwhile, the referee's already been like out. He's out cold, okay? Like, this is why all this gaga's taking place, right? And then that's when Andre makes the appearance to even up the odds, okay?
Okay. I like the imagery is important. So I want to hold on to that as much as I can.
Okay.
I like the Colin Powell idea. So Colin Powell sitting front row, the Joint Chiefs or whoever the fuck is also with him, right? And he's not a spry chicken. I know he's not old either at the 1991, but he's a middle-aged guy. So, he's watching this unfold, this injustice against America's hero, and he does the classic celebrity row, like stands up, like what the hell, he gets a little more animated. What's going on here, guys? And that's when one of the Triangle of Terror people arrive and get in his grill right there at the guardrail, and that's where you get a tussle at the guardrail, and that's where Chuck Norris shows up.
Okay, so Chuck Norris comes to defend Colin Powell on the outside with Mustafa or Adnan.
And that creates a distraction with the ref to then bring in the other member, Sheik.
Okay, so Adnan's facing off with Powell. Chuck Norris jumps the rail.
Yeah, Norris arrives to save Powell.
To save Colin Powell. Okay.
We're even saying these names right now.
I know.
But I think it's great.
I think this is awesome.
And then that's when the other members,
Mustafa.
With Slaughter, they get the Iggy on Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
With the refs being distracted by the commotion at ringside. Pat Patterson, Rene Goulet, all those people.
Referees, right? Yeah. You can even get Jack Tunney out there.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's a shit show.
Yep.
And that's when you get the distraction, and now, like, oh my God, like, turn around, like, Hulk Hogan's about to lose. That's when this dude shows up.
Andre?
No. Masked Man.
Oh, Masked Man.
Masked Man
Okay.
shows up. Here's the thing. I don't want Andre showing up when Chuck Norris has already shown up. Like, I want to.
Maybe Andre shows up at the end.
I want to buffer. I want to buffer Andre with something like where you're left hopeless. Not that Andre the Giant's going to save the day per se, but I don't want. Oh my God, Chuck Norris is here, and then oh my God, Andre's here. Something has to happen to bring Andre out.
Okay.
That is cause for him. And the fact that the Brutus has arrived and his attempts to save the day are thwarted, now Hogan's at a deficit.
Okay, I
Andre.
got something for this. All right.
I'm trying to play math here.
Yeah. No, I got something for that. Chuck Norris jumps the rail to defend Colin Powell with Adnan. Like I said, Jack Tunney. You can get the Los Angeles Police Department. At the time, they were not the most well-liked people in that community after the Rodney King beating, but in the LA riots. But
none before '92, though. Yeah.
Yeah, it was before. But still,
because Bobby Heenan referenced the Rodney King thing during a backstage interview with Mr. Perfect against the Big Boss Man. So the Rodney King beating took place before the because Heenan's comment was some ham and egger in the bushes was videotaping the cops getting 50 free swipes at the.
I do remember.
We'll give it to you for free. So anyhow, get the LAPD involved, WWF officials. They get Chuck Norris out of there because he's not even authorized to be there. He jumped the rail. He was a guest. He shouldn't have been there. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Then that brings the advantage back to the heels, where Adnan and Sarge
are putting the boots to Hogan.
Putting the boots to Hogan. Okay. Mustafa too, if you wanted to introduce him.
Well, I would say he's still kind of in the aftermath of the Colin Powell.
Well, that was Adnan.
So who's in the ring? I'm sorry, who's in the ring with Slaughter then, putting the boots to Hogan?
Oh, it is Mustafa. Yeah.
Right.
So Adnan comes back in, so now it's 3-on-1 again.
And that's when Brutus
shows up as the Masked Man, the Mariner.
Mm-hmm.
They put the boots to him. They take the mask off.
It's my brother.
Oh, my God.
How could you do this to my brother?
Oh, my God. Yeah, right? Okay. And then that's where you cue Andre. Now, Andre doesn't have to do anything physical. Just his presence of being Andre the Giant alone could scare the other two heels, Mustafa and Adnan, to powder out, which gives Hogan and Slaughter all by themselves. I know this is crazy.
No.
I'm just laughing. I just had an idea.
I'm just trying.
No, I want to hear this too. I want to hear this idea.
I just want to put the sequence together. So Powell starts raising a stink about the injustice.
Yep, with Adnan.
I feel like it should be Mustafa.
Okay.
Because now this is his introduction to the whole scene.
Okay, that's fair. All right.
So and he's, if not by name, we all know who he is.
Yep, exactly.
Classic anti-American.
Yep, yeah.
Against Colin
They
Powell.
can even reference it. Is that the Iron Sheik? What's the Iron Sheik doing
We don't
here?
know his name is Mustafa yet.
Yeah, exactly. Correct.
But
Yeah.
he's in the garb.
The Iron Sheik, him and Sergeant Slaughter, they went to war years ago in Madison Square Garden, et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly.
They could, bring up the
that
whole thing.
creates the scuffle. The agents show up. Chuck Norris shows up. Then that turns to Adnan and Slaughter putting the boots to Hogan.
Because the agents, Jack Tunney, the LAPD,
everybody.
they've gotten rid of Chuck Norris.
So that aftermath is still unfolding. As that aftermath is still unfolding, Adnan has slid out of that scene and brought himself back to the match.
Correct.
That's when Brutus shows up.
Yep.
So it's now from 3-on-1
To 3-on-2.
3-on-2
Yep.
back to 3-on-1.
Yes, they
take Brutus
They
out.
take Brutus out.
That's when Andre the Giant shows up.
That's when Andre shows up, and like I said, his presence alone scares Adnan and Sheik.
I mean, he might do the coconuts with their heads.
Yeah.
Thing,
Okay,
the
whatever.
classic Andre stuff.
Limited stuff, but the fact that Andre the Giant is there to save Hulk Hogan, like you said, it could be what the heck is going? What's he doing here? Like, Hogan defeated him at WrestleMania 3. Like, they can, slide all that in as he is making his 7.5-minute walk from Gorilla to ringside, as Dennis put it earlier.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now,
then Hogan's got Slaughter by himself.
yeah, yep.
At this rate,
this is basically the WrestleMania 40 finish.
but in
1991.
But in 1991.
Now I need to hear what Dennis had to say.
Yeah.
All right. So, in an alternate universe,
Which we're in currently.
That's true. If you wanted the foreign heels to win, he has something with the Brutus thing. So the referee's knocked out. They made it an I Quit match. The referee is knocked out, and the foreign collective is beating the shit out of Hogan. Who's gonna help him? The next man comes in, tries to help him out. He gets his ass kicked, and now they have the hold of him. They rip out the mask. It's Brutus the Barber Beefcake, and Sergeant Slaughter gets. He grabs him. He's about to snap his neck. And he goes, Hogan, if you don't quit, I am killing your best friend in front of everybody. And of course, Hogan, murder. And everyone goes,
Domestic terrorism.
Okay.
In 1981.
Okay, brother, I quit. Because of Brutus.
An alternate universe.
That is
If
definitely
you wanted the heels to win,
Yeah.
that would have been your out. Because of Brutus's love.
They'd have to change WrestleMania 7 to Stars, Stripes, and Jihad forever if that's the case.
There you go.
35 minutes ago, we had to end WrestleMania with Savage and Liz riding off into the sunset. Now we're
only the greatest moment in WrestleMania history.
We're getting back to that.
We're just sweep that under the rug. Okay, no big deal.
the Rocky turncoats.
I'm just saying, if you wanted an alternative universe to have the heels to win,
Okay.
that could have been your own.
That's I see the logic.
Yeah.
I see the logic.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, like I said, Andre saves the day.
Maybe that's for a Saturday night's main event.
Leaves Hogan to Slaughter, or Slaughter to Hogan, rather.
Yeah.
And then you get the Hogan-Andre making amends, which kind of ties into Hogan and Savage making amends.
Andre waving the American flag.
Yeah, you get all that. You get...
He's French. Maybe
This is Andre's...
fan in there.
Sure.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
This is Andre's swan song in many senses.
Yeah.
It might not be so direct.
Yeah.
He's getting that moment.
Yeah.
Happy ending. WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And scene.
Fade to black. Let's go.
You like that?
It's fine.
I will say the highlight of this podcast was your debate with him, Dennis.
We'll probably have that debate again on the car ride home.
Yeah.
No, it's good. I like.
Click record on your phone. I'll try to find a way to get this on social media. Just have it sitting in the cup holder.
You fucking melonhead!
Let me out! Let me out!
I was going to say that.
You're going the wrong way.
I want that to be in my arsenal. You melonhead! I'm going to put that in my.
Okay, I'm going to hold you.
Ever a phrase to say in 1991? Melonhead.
I'm going to hold you to that. Well. All right, let's just recap WrestleMania 7 Night 2, and then we will we'll end this rebuild of WrestleMania 7, this was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
The three of us back together, it definitely it hits, it tracks, as the kids would say. So let's go to Justin here, and we'll start. We'll recap what took place in our universe, our alternate universe of WrestleMania 7 Night 2.
So Night 2 kicked off with the Nasty Boys winning the WWF Tag Team Championships from the Hart Foundation, followed up by an 8-man tag to resolve the differences of the night before, where LOD and Tenryu and Kato teamed up to face Demolition and Power and Glory in victory. Singles match, Tito Santana finally gets his WrestleMania moment with a victory, bringing out later a Ricky the Dragon Steamboat return.
That was over the Mountie.
Yes, over the Mountie, thank you. We then see Ted DiBiase defeat Virgil due to some misfiring communication with Roddy Piper. That's that.
Involving Scary Sherry as well.
Yeah, and the Sherry's story continues with a new charge in DiBiase. We then go to our semi-main event, The Undertaker against Superfly Jimmy Snuka, largely the way we saw it. It is followed up, though, with a...
No, we skipped Texas Tornado Dino Bravo.
Ah, shit. Where was that?
Yeah, that was after DiBiase and Virgil.
Okay, sorry about that, guys.
Tornado beat Dino Bravo same way he did in 1991.
Again, rather forgettable.
Yep.
So that happens. And then... yeah, I didn't have it written down here. So then after Tornado forgetfully beats Dino Bravo, we get Undertaker and Jimmy Snuka in the very first match of the Undertaker streak. Followed up by a post-match interview with the Ultimate Warrior, kind of foreshadowing his intentions now that his career has been given new life, following his defeat of Randy Savage the night before. And then we head to our main event, where Hulk Hogan avenges America against the Iraqi turncoat Sergeant Slaughter and his now formed triangle of terror with all the shenanigans of American pride and 80s love with Chuck Norris and Andre the Giant and Colin Powell. Team America. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Put that on the Iranians of our current enemies right now. I don't think they could be stopped.
And there you have it. That was rebuilding WrestleMania 7 here on Kicking Out at 2.
And scene.
Cinema. Yeah. That was awesome. Thank you very much, both of you, for making this happen. I love it when all three of us do this. I know with our schedules, sometimes it's not possible. Well, a lot of times it's not possible. But I look forward to the next one. Dennis, I'm sorry that you were outvoted as to what should have main evented WrestleMania. But you brought up some great alternatives with Jake the Snake winning the Intercontinental title over Rick Martel in the blindfold match in night 1. I really like that. I even dug the Colin Powell thing too with his involvement sitting in the front row at WrestleMania.
The one-liners Bobby Heenan would throw in for that would be
alone. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, this was a lot of fun. What do you guys think? What did you think of our rebuilding WrestleMania 7? Let us know on social media. I was talking to the audience, not you, considering you didn't really care for it.
I'm 4 out of 10 high. Leave me alone.
All right. Well, that was a lot of fun. Thanks, guys. Really looking forward to the next one. And it's WrestleMania season, so we'll keep chugging along with our WrestleMania content as we march towards WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas. And with that being said, I think it's about that time we officially put this one down for the 3 count. Stars and stripes forever, brother. And we'll see you all next time.